right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a Houston Rockets video for you guys. They play the Portland Trailblazers tonight. They could win it. There's nothing wrong if we win it. We've got Portland's pick this year, so that could be useful. But 3 games after tonight, Wednesday in LA, for the Lakers, and then we come back Friday to play the Clippers, and then on Sunday in Atlanta, and that is the end of the season for the Houston Rockets. So they're currently 16-52. Now, I will do a video probably right at the end of the season, Swaggy will probably be in it. Maybe Austin will even be in it because, I'll be in Houston tomorrow. So also, Discord, link in bio. Swaggy's got a Discord where we're doing like a drunk questions type thing. If you want to leave a question in there, let me know. I can get you the link. And yeah, so 16-52, I'll probably do just kind of like a full season recap, one of those type of videos. Never done one before, so I don't even know what I'm talking about, but I'm looking forward to doing that. I mean, I think the record doesn't speak well for kind of what's in store for the Houston Rockets. Now, I get this question a lot. The Houston Rockets, they have a top 4 pick right now, or it's top 4 protected. So there is a chance we don't get that top 4 pick. If the lottery balls don't fall in our favor and they absolutely screw us, and it's any pick that isn't 1, 2, 3, or 4, that pick's going to Oklahoma. So the downside to that as well is if we do get a top 4 pick this year, we don't have our pick next year. So that's kind of why it is so important to me that we get like Cade Cunningham and a free agent, because even if we aren't super relevant next year or super competitive, if we're still competing, first off, if they still have, for some reason, if they still have the play-in game, I mean, getting to the 10 seed, it's not too difficult. I think I understand where a lot of you guys are coming from, saying, even if we get Cade, I don't think our roster got that much better. I don't see any reason that would change. One thing is we will be healthier, and the guys are going to get better. KPJ, Jayshawn Tate, Christian Wood. I mean, the hope is that they all continue to take a next step. So I actually just completely disagree with that take. I think either way, they will be relevant and competitive next season. How competitive will that be? I'm not sure. Like, I could see them being like 13, 12, 11, trying to get to that 10 seed. And then if there's no play-in game, things get a little bit more difficult, way more difficult. So either way, I want to get Cade Cunningham or I want to get a top 4 pick, because next season not having a pick, it's tough. But I think a top 4 pick would really take this team into competitiveness. So along with a free agent, and then obviously the progression of talent. So looking at this roster from top to bottom, I mean, there's a lot of good players that we scooped up that will be under contract next season. Like, for example, DJ Augustine. I mean, statistically, he's 33 years old. I think he actually is 33 years old. And, I mean, he's a Houston boy, Texas boy, and I think he's going to be super solid for us next season. I mean, 33 years old it's pretty old, but he can still hang, man. 7 points per game, about 3.5 assists per game. He's going to be a solid player for us. Perhaps the biggest question mark, I think it's relatively evident that the Houston Rockets' future is pretty bright. Whether it's Armani Brooks, whether it's Daquan Jeffries, Anthony Lamb, KJ Martin, KPJ, Jayshawn Tate, Kyrie Thomas, DJ Wilson, or Christian Wood, if it's any of those players, I mean, it kind of goes without saying. Like, this team has future talent. I don't know how many of those players will be retained for next season, because another important thing to keep in mind is if we do get 3 first-round picks next season, that's 3 contracts right there. So there are a lot of dudes on this team that won't be coming back, like Dante Exum, Avery Bradley. Kelly Olynyk also will be unrestricted free agent. So we'll kind of see what happens with Kelly. And it's tough. We were talking about this on stream with Swaggy and Gio last night, was like, the issue with Kelly is if you pay Kelly $15 a year, is that like overpaying or is that underpaying? And then you got to think, like, how long is a contract going to be? It's probably going to be at least 3 years. So that means you're paying Kelly Olynyk $15 million for the next 3 years. And Kelly Olynyk, while he just turned 30, paying Kelly Olynyk $15 million at 33, it does not sound promising. Like, I know he's having a great season, especially in Houston, but that doesn't sound promising at all. So then you could throw in he'll come off the bench, like Jordan Clarkson, something we were talking about yesterday. Like, he could play a Jordan Clarkson type role and just come off the bench. Well, I hate that even more. I understand you can pay bench players to, like, absolutely go off on the bench, and Jordan Clarkson is a beast, but I don't know, man. Kelly Olynyk, I have worries about his longevity being able to do this. I do have wonders and concerns if it's just because he's on the Houston Rockets. I am curious about his defense moving forward. I don't think we will be a good defensive team with him being on the court, so I would not be shocked if they don't do anything. It's challenging because, if you're Stone and Kelly Olynyk is one of the guys you target, you're like, I want Kelly Olynyk next season. I don't think they're thinking Kelly Olynyk is the starter next season. I think when you go out and you get Kelly, I think you're probably thinking, obviously, yeah, I hope he can start, but 13-7 is about what he was averaging in Miami, and that's perfectly fine. Like, that can still start. 13-7 can still start. But I don't think they were expecting him to go like 19-8. I mean, we're creeping in towards, like, this dude's going to get paid. And if it's not Houston, it's going to be somebody else. So there's a huge, huge question mark with Kelly Olynyk because I have so many concerns with Kelly Olynyk making $15 million at the age of 33. And I don't think I'm the only one who has that concern. So we'll see with Kelly. And then another thing with the future is John Wall. I mean, John Wall is going to be making $47 million in 2 years. Next season, he's going to be making about 44. And the year after that, he's going to be making about 47. So these are just kind of things you got to think about, because if Christian Wood's going to want max contract in 2 years, whether or not you want to pay that, I mean, it's just important to think about John Wall right now. Like, $44 million, $47 million. If you could squeeze out value for John Wall, I think you got to take it. And with Kelly Olynyk, I guess I would be fine with paying him $15 million a year, assuming he's still going to start and put up these kinds of numbers. And if that starts to falter, I guess we can always trade him, but it's just super worrisome. But outside of John Wall and Kelly Olynyk, I mean, John Wall's the only one under contract, so the future is still, it's not like hindered. I mean, John Wall is still a good basketball player. He's only 30 years old. I'm just saying, money-wise, financially, it's something to keep note of, because we have a ton of cap, we've got a ton of young players, and it's just, we have so much flexibility. I don't want to mess it up by paying Kelly Olynyk too much, maintaining or retaining John Wall, keeping John Wall, keeping Eric Gordon, like, all this different stuff added on. So the future for the Rockets is mainly into KPJ, Jae'Sean Tate, and Christian Wood right now, I would say. I mean, those are three high-quality starters. And the best part about those three players is Christian Wood can play 4 and 5. Jae'Sean Tate could play 2 through 4 if he has to. And KPJ can play 1 through 3. So you go out, you get a Cade Cunningham. You go out, you get a Jalen Suggs. You go out, you get a Jalen Green. Everything will be just fine. Everything will be just fine. The only complication I think I would see is if they get Jalen Green, because, I mean, somebody would have to go to the bench. I don't know if I don't really want it to be Jalen Green, but I don't want it to be Jae'Sean Tate. You know what I'm saying? So one of those guys would have to go to the bench, and then same with Evan Mobley. Kind of see something with Mobley or Olynyk. I'm super excited about this offseason because there are just so many different possibilities. Like, it really feels endless sometimes. So I'm loving what the Houston Rockets have cooking right now. And even, like, the bad parts, like John Wall's contract and should we repay Kelly Olynyk, like, those are good problems to have. They're not the end of the world. It's not like, we've got a 38-year-old, aging superstar who's keeping us afloat. It's nothing like that. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, hit the like button, hit the sub button, and I'll see you guys later.